and they line up for Jikin and gets to the 4K.
Execution over towards the A, starts coming in. They're going for the switcheroo tactic, but it's not going to work. Dodds, what are you doing for kill?
Teach some respect. Fill them with honor. Drown them all. Triple kill. Quadra kill. Use their fear.
Good evening and welcome to Baltic Esports League. I'm Envy, I'm joined here by Derek, and we'll walk you through about what is Baltic Esports League.
So, Baltic Esports League Season 1 starts on 26th of February. It will go on for 9 weeks where 10 best Counter-Strike Global Offensive and 10 best League of Legends teams will battle it out for the chance to secure one of 4 spots in each discipline for the LAN finals, which will take place in the Hypertown Riga 2018 Expo, and they will fight for 10,500 euros. The Expo will take place on 26th till 27th of May in KIPSALA's exhibition hall in Riga, Latvia.
Exactly, and this event is powered by Lat Telecom and GoExanimo, as well as our sponsors Samsung, MSI, Omen by HP, and Axe.
This is a great opportunity for players from the Baltic states to potentially have a breakthrough in their gaming careers.
That is correct. So for 9 weeks, we'll have 5 days of the week. From Monday till Friday, we'll have from 7 to 11 games of the group stage. Teams will battle it out, so be sure not to miss it. And at the end, as already Derek mentioned, 26th and 27th May on the Expo, the LAN finals.
And yeah, the Hypertown Riga is 2-day urban entertainment and technology festival. Event is uniting Baltic top achievers from various fields such as esports, cosplay, graffiti, technology, game dev, streaming, and many other popular areas. More than 70 independent cosplay artists from Baltic countries will perform on the stage in front of jury that will consist of biggest worldwide cosplay artists. Also in the expo there's going to be entertainment areas such as RPG taverns, board game areas, virtual reality zones, retro game areas, and so on.
Exactly, and now we can walk you through the teams that will be competing in this wonderful event. In CSGO, the top teams from Estonia, WASD, also known as WASD Esports, Godzi, and WORTEX Gaming. From Estonia, the top contenders probably should be WASD Esports. They've been together for a really long time. From Lithuania, you have Team Refuse, Not Like This, and Baltic Elite. So from Lithuania, one of the best Baltic teams, Refuse, also a top contender. So this is going to be really interesting. And from our country, Latvia, we'll have Malko, SkinLordz, Team Sply, and Aesthetic. We have seen so much of them already in previous tournaments in Latvia if you've been watching. So you know how strong these teams are. Let's see how they battle up against each other. And for League of Legends, what can you say about them?
For League of Legends, let's start with Lithuania. In Lithuania, the top contenders for the Baltic Esports League in League of Legends going to be Iron Wolves. They are dominating the field all over so far in Baltic states. We will see how that translates in the BSL. Followed up by Keep Yourself Alive, another strong Lithuanian team. And before that, before Iron Wolves took the top spot in the Baltics, Public Enemy, formerly known as Kenti, was in the top. So Public Enemy is the third team from Lithuania, and finishing that Lithuanian scene is going to be NACL. So those are teams from Lithuania. From Estonia in Season 1, there's going to be one team, which is Vegan Unit 4. And in Latvia, there is going to be 5 teams, and let's start with Team Coinflip Gaming, followed up by Surreal Gaming, Imantis 5, Falcon Esports, and Team Solo Mata. So those are the 10 teams for the League of Legends.
So now I wanted to mention once again for the Hypertown Riga Festival, you can check in the description, we have a link where you can buy the early bird tickets for special prices, so don't miss it. It's going to be available for 1 month. That's what I want to say. So now a small commercial break, and after that we'll head into the first matchups of League of Legends. So Season 1, we are up and going.
Spray. You awkward. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray. You spray. You trip. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray. You spray. You're stuck. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray.
They're all there. They line up for Finland to get to the 4K.
Distribution over towards the A sites coming in. They're going for the switcheroo tactic, but it's not going to work. Dodds, what are you doing for kill?
Teach some respect. Phenomenal. Triple kill. Quadra kill. Use their fear.
Welcome to the Baltic Esports League Pro League of Legends Season 1. I'm Derek Danger and together with me is Cookie.
Yeah, and now we want to go into the schedule to see what type of games we will see this week.
So we're going to start off today with Vegan Unit 4 versus Team Coinflip Gaming. Tomorrow, on 27th of February, at 7 p.m. there's going to be Keep Yourself Alive versus Surreal Gaming, followed by Imantis 5 versus Public Enemy.
And then on Friday, we'll have Team NACL versus Iron Wolves. And to end the week, we'll have Falcon Esports versus Team Solo Mata. Now, today's matchup, Vegan Unit 4 versus Team Coinflip Gaming. We have the Estonian squad, that is Vegan Unit 4. Now, a couple of years ago, these guys were the top team in the Baltics. They almost qualified for the European Challenger Series, but they fell short and then they disbanded for a while. Now, after their break, they are back and are ready to conquer the BESL League.
And for Team Coinflip Gaming is from Latvia, and they have been around for a while, I would say. Well, relatively. They started out as a combined roster from various teams who have attended Latvia's LAN tournaments, and then decided to join forces, and well, they finished third and fourth, and now with a little bit of changes, they're back and ready to prove themselves.
Yeah, and now, as the guys are ready to go into the champ select, we will start the band.
We'll start the first champ select in a moment.
Yeah. Now, what I expect, and the champ select is started. Now,
yeah, we're in.
Now, Vegan Unit 4, I know that their jungler is pretty aggressive, so I think that Team Coinflip Gaming will ban the junglers out as much as they can and just free up Little Gnome to be able and do what they need to do.
And we can already see that the first two bans, we see Camille from the blue side and Rek'Sai from the red side. So already we got jungle bans going on. Now blue side as their second ban chose to ban Vladimir. That's pretty interesting. Vladimir's pretty popular in the top lane nowadays, and an outlier ban, I would say, from the Team Coinflip Gaming side, Morgana banned.
Yeah, and Tristan now being one of the top ADCs in the league, banning that out just to keep that out of the game.
And yeah, the last ban is Sejuani from Team Coinflip Gaming side, and an insta-lock Gangplank on the blue side.
Yeah, now they could pick up Gnar to counter it now, but we shall see what they try and do.
So yeah, what do you think? Gangplank is a pretty strong top lane and no real counters on the top side. You can try out some ballsy picks like Yasuo or maybe Lucian, but as pro games have showed us, they're not really successful all the time.
Yeah, I've seen that Vladimir has been a really good pick to pick against Gangplank, but we can see that they banned it so that Gangplank would have more room to breathe and just scale for the late game. Now we can see that the Skarner has been picked in for jungle because that now is also one of the strongest picks and just gives so much pick potential for Team Coinflip Gaming.
Also Azir on the blue side, on the red side, so that's a pretty strong pick. One of the S tier mid laners, I would say. And matching the Skarner in the jungle, we see Jarvan the 4th on the blue side. So we don't see that every day. Maybe Jarvan's coming back right now on 8.4. We'll have to see how that one works out. And Galio picked into Azir. So a safe lane will be able to get through the laning phase with an ease and try to make plays on the sidelines.
Yeah, and now the Tarek is being hovered and picked in, so most likely just going for the safe bot lane and just having that Azir and Tarek combo for the team fights, just to try and scale and then in the late game win the team fights and slowly suffocate the enemy.
And on the second phase of bans, Janna is banned, and it's pretty reasonable because versus the melee matchups, Janna could be pretty abusive. What do you think? What could we see versus the Tarek?
I think that Braum is a really good pick now. It's really strong into melee matchups, and that will be able to counter the Tarek pick. And yeah, now in the top lane, what do you think should Team Coinflip Gaming pick in the top lane to at least have something to go against the GP?
Well, since Gnar is banned, the latest trends have been Sion. Sion's a menace on the top lane. There are no real counters to Sion, and maybe with Sion they can try to finish the game early.
Yeah. Now Varus is the last pick. Two bans for Invade Vision 5-5. He got 2 bans out of the enemy team, but he does look like and he does pick up the Caitlyn. So they're just going to try and pressure bot lane and get the first blood turret, and then just roam to top lane, take that turret, and just keep roaming and sieging.
Yeah, and versus the Caitlyn, are we going to see the Sivir? Sivir's been a long-standing, I wouldn't say counter pick, but someone who can freely go through the laning phase that Caitlyn brings. She can nullify all the cupcake traps. She can match the push. And Sivir, and is that going to be an Alsta? That's an Alsta hover, so should be good. They have a really strong teamfight comp, like I would say a wombo combo comp with Jarvan into Gangplank ult, into Galio ult. Alsta joins in, Sivir's just speeding everyone up and dealing tons of damage. And on top lane versus the Gangplank is going to be Ornn.
Yeah, well, I think Gangplank has that lane pretty easy. He can just keep poking Ornn and gaining that gold lead slowly. And they really kept the Ornn as the last pick, because if they would have picked Braum, most likely that wouldn't have been an Ornn pick, because he can block the Ornn's ult with his shield.
Yeah, and so far, pretty solid team compositions from both teams. Both of them trying to look for team fights and such. And yeah, so let's go over the team comps. So on the blue side, we get Galio, Jarvan the fourth, Gangplank, Sivir, and Alistar. While on the red side, there's Ornn, Skarner, Azir, Caitlyn, and Taric as the last ban.
Yeah, and now what we can see in the mid game will be a lot of different team fights and so on. They're just going to try and scale, so we can know that in the Euro game there won't be too much action. Most likely everybody will try to get their items. Now the only things that could happen is we're going to have a lot of action on the bot lane, because the Caitlyn Taric will want to push the lane all the time, and so maybe Jarvan will come and try to punish them for doing that. But Sivir can easily keep the pressure and match the push from Caitlyn rather. So that's one thing that we can say.
And well, on the opposite side, well, we get Jarvan with great engages, but on the opposite side we get Skarner, and Predator is the name of the game so far. With Predator, Skarner can gank every other minute with a great succession. Maybe on a top lane versus Gangplank, it wouldn't be so easy because of the oranges that Gangplank can eat. But well, we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. For sure, early game should go to the Coinflip gaming side with all the early push. Or on top side, some would say that the Gangplank can just bully him out with parry, but Ornn is a pretty strong early game champion, can bully out most of the lanes, maybe even Gangplank. We'll see about that. It depends on the players themselves. A lot of these matchups are skill matchups, and we get the best of the best here in Baltics. It should be a pretty interesting fight versus both teams.
Yeah, and now we will lead to a little commercial break before the game starts. So, but before that, we can talk about.
So yeah, let's just go into the commercial break.
Yeah.
You spray. You awkward. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray. You spray. You trip. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray. You spray. You're stuck. You're gold. Smell fresh all day with new Axe Gold Body Spray.
Hello everyone, we have small technical difficulties. We will restart the stream and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.